Right, everybody, thanks for having me, and I'm going to be giving you a talk today about understanding the impacts of marine developments, but understanding them from the perspective of someone who doesn't really have the time to understand them. I've got lots of other things to do, and it's just a kind of desperate struggle to even get on top of the basic facts. So I'm going to talk through an approach to that. With these kinds of talks, I do like to start quite big picture. So let's just start out in space, looking down on this beautiful blue planet. We all know that 2/3 of the planet is covered in seawater, of course. When you look at the detail of where it's possible to live, it turns out that the lion's share, or the lion fish's share, is in the sea. 99% of the habitable volume of this planet is the sea. And all the land and all the fresh water is just a piddling 1%. And when you start to think about what that 99% is, well, there's just cubic kilometre after cubic kilometre of kind of emptiness, really. Open ocean is pretty much devoid of structure. And all the life, I think, in the open ocean is adapted to live in a place devoid of structure. That's why diel vertical migration is a thing, right? It's a way of avoiding being eaten if there's nowhere to hide. So, things like this, fish aggregation devices, they make sense, of course, but they're also kind of bonkers. Why is it that when you put something like this in such an open place, things respond? Well, they respond because structure matters. And so I think that's a very long-winded but important way of saying the stuff that we put in the sea has ecological consequences. And we're great at doing that. We're on a big mission to put lots of stuff in the sea. We've been doing it through the 20th century, through the 21st, at pace and at scale. Everything from oil rigs through to offshore wind, through even to these artificial reefs that you see. These are all what we call ocean sprawl, and that is the increasing spread of structures in our oceans. In the UK, the picture is relatable. We are kind of at the cutting edge of putting stuff in the sea here. We've been installing wind for a number of years offshore, since particularly the Climate Act around 2010, and it shows no sign of slowing. And in fact, we're a world leader in installed capacity for offshore wind. And I think that's good. I think that we do need to get on top of climate change and reducing our emissions. It's worth noting that the lion's share of what has been installed so far is in the east of these islands. So not so much down here just yet, but it is coming, particularly with round 5. And it's not just wind, it's all the other things too. It's pontoons, offshore solar, maybe even tidal. And so these things are coming, and these represent ocean sprawl. And I would suggest to you